Hi guys, today we're going to read the story Barney Bipples, Magic Dandelions. It's written by Carol Chapman and the pictures are by Stephen Kellogg, and he happens to be one of my favorite illustrators. And remember, an illustrator is the person that draws the pictures, so I'll make sure that you can really see him. He just does such a fun job and makes it like magic almost. Okay, here we go. Barney Bipple was 6. But he wanted to be 8. He wanted to be 8 so he could play with Hector and Gerald. He also wanted a big, shiny car like his Uncle Jason had. But everyone called him Jace the Ace because his car was so neat. So there's Hector and Gerald playing, and then here's the car. I have to admit, that is a pretty cool car. What do you guys want? I have a feeling Barney Bipple wants more. And he wanted his dog Snoozer to talk. Barney was sure that dogs had a lot of interesting things to talk about. Now it just so happened that next door to Barney Bipple lived an old woman named Minerva Merkel. Everyone thought she was rich because she had a lot of jewels and furs. And by furs they mean like fur coats. So she lives right next door to Mr. Barney Bipple. One day, Barney saw a huge diamond on Miss Merkel's lawn. He knocked on her door and handed it to her politely. "Such a nice boy," said Miss Merkel. "I think I will give you a reward." Now, if you found a big diamond laying in somebody's yard, would you take it back or would you think about keeping it? That's one of those hard questions, isn't it? He did the right thing and he went and gave it back, and now he's going to get a reward for it. Maybe it's another diamond. Maybe money? Turn to your friends. Turn to your parents. Turn to your brothers or sisters. What do you think he's going to get? Okay. She took him into her backyard. It was covered with white, puffy dandelions. Miss Merkel picked one up, picked up another, and picked up another. That's 3. And handed them to Barney. Dandelions? You know what those are. It's the yellow flower that turns white, and then you could go and you see it all spin. That's what she gave him for turning in a diamond. Make a wish. Blow on a dandelion and your wish will come true. But stick to simple wishes, like for diamonds and furs. If you need more, just let me know. Do you think that these dandelions can really give wishes? I don't know. You better turn the page. Barney thanked Miss Merkel and went home. Not wanting furs or diamonds, he wished he was 8. Then blew the puff. And in an instant, the snap of his pants popped. His shoes became too tight. Ouch! And he was 8 years old. He went from 6 to 8. He ran down to Hector's house. "Can you play?" asked Barney in his new, older, grown-up voice. "Sure," said Hector. "You must be a new kid." "Sort of," said Barney. And Barney and Hector found Gerald, and they all played baseball. Do you like to play baseball or play sports with your friends? I'm going to turn it just a little bit. There we go. After Hector and Gerald went home, Barney made a second wish. His dog Snoozer looked up at him and said, "Do you know I cannot stand my dry dog food? There are many different brands, but the kind your mother buys is the worst." Snoozer can talk. "Wouldn't you like to tell me about some of your adventures?" asked Barney. The first thing he talked about was dog food. "What adventures?" Snoozer said. "All I do is eat and sleep. I did have an interesting dream about a steak once," said Snoozer. "Forget it," said Barney. "I guess it's time to make my 3rd wish." He wished extra hard, then blew on his last puff. Do you have an idea what he might be wishing on? What did they mention earlier? And then look at the pictures as hints. What might he be wishing on? And zap! He was sitting in a long, shiny yellow car, and the engine was roaring. Barney stepped on the gas, and off he went, racing down the street, around the block, and onto the freeway! Arch! Neat, said Barney, going 100 miles an hour. Pretty soon, he heard the sirens. Uh-oh, he said. When he finally found the brake pedal, he stopped the car. Okay, said the officer. Let me see your license. I don't have one, said Barney. What about the registration for the car? Asked the officer. I don't know what that is. Kind of looking around like, what do you do? The officer took off his sunglasses. Hey, you're just a kid. So the officer drove Barney down to the police station and called Barney's mother. Mom, cried Barney when he saw her. Oh, there must be some mistake, said Mrs. Bipple. My son is 6, and that little boy is 8. And she left him there. Uh-oh. Looks like you're in a lot of trouble, said the officer. Driving a stolen car and saying you're someone else's kid when you're not. Uh-oh, these wishes do not seem to be going right for Barney Bipple. Barney felt very sad. Then suddenly he had an idea. Can I make a phone call? He asked. Sure, said the officer. 5 minutes later, Minerva Merkel arrived carrying a dandelion. Remember, she would go, I'll pick one. She gave it to Barney. See what happens when you make wishes that are complicated? She asked. Do you know what complicated means? That means not simple. That means it has a lot of extra stuff to it. So like when he wished to be 8 years old, it changed him from the little boy his mommy knew to now an 8-year-old that his mom doesn't know. He just didn't get to grow up and go have fun. It changed who his mom thought he was. And when he wished for a new car, he forgot that he doesn't have a license and he doesn't have the registration, which means you prove that it's yours and they have insurance on it. So he doesn't think about all that. So that's why she told him, keep your wishes simple. Barney nodded and closed his eyes tight. I wish away all the other wishes, he said. And he blew real hard. There comes Minerva. Look how cool she looks. You see her? I love that page. You can just tell she has this little magic about her. In an instant, he was in his own front yard. Snoozer barked. Gerald and Hector walked by, ignoring him. And Barney knew he would never see that yellow car again. Barney ran into his house. Do you know who I am? He asked his mom. You're Barney Bipple, my 6-year-old boy, said Mrs. Bipple. Right, yelled Barney, giving his mother a giant hug. And he never made complicated wishes again. Did you see Maddie tried to come in? I had to tell her to wait. Just simple wishes like a bike. Like he wished for a bike and he got one. That one's easy. And a steak for Snoozer. Look, the dog got a steak. And a radio. Now, this book was written before the computers and internet, and look at his radio. To me, it almost looks like he could be calling space stations up in outer space. That's such a cool radio. And what else do you think he might have wished for? Take a guess. A couple of you are going to love this because one of you already got one this year, and one of you are going to get one. That's a hint. A baby brother. A new mitt for baseball. What else did he wish for? frog, gum, and a pony. And just stuff like that. Look at that pony. Those are pretty simple wishes. And they are pretty cool. And guess what? That's the end of Barney Bipple. Magic Dandelions. I hope you had fun. I'll talk to you all soon. I sure wish I could see you all. If you want to send me a quick video and say hi, or send me a picture, or anything, I would love to hear from you. Bye, guys.